If you're an e-commerce seller, you've certainly heard of PayPal, especially if you're selling into the US and you want to have the highest conversions possible. Well, I have clients all over the world who are outside of the US, basically using US companies to run their e-commerce businesses, and PayPal is often an issue. In this video, I want to go over how to get your PayPal account open in the US, how it's working, what to look out for, and what are some other alternatives in other jurisdictions where you can open a PayPal account and really scale your business. I found that most of my clients with successful e-commerce businesses do have a PayPal option, and that if you're selling in the US, it really does increase conversions to have a PayPal account. One of the issues is that it's difficult to get a US PayPal account open. So I'm going to list right here how you can open one. And I have other videos going through step by step where I've opened it, but in short, you need a couple of things. It's easiest when you have a limited liability company. You can operate this business without paying income taxes in the US, and there's a lot of other reasons to use a US LLC, but for the purpose of getting a US PayPal account, it's really the only way. An LLC, and I usually would do a multi-member LLC because you can sign up as a business instead of if you have a single member LLC when you're effectively signing up as an individual because it's a disregarded entity. So we need this multi-member LLC. You need the EIN number. It's great to have a US business address and a US address for yourself. And it's also really helpful to have an ITIN number. It's almost required. I have had some people have success just using the EIN number for the ITIN number for your personal tax identification number. But I don't think that works in the long term. After you sell $5,000, $10,000, they're going to re-verify and make you upload documents confirming your identity. So when you're opening a US PayPal account, they really want to confirm that the owner of the US company is an American or a US person or have a US address and a US social security number. It's been a big problem for a lot of my clients because they're not from the US. While it can get opened, you can also have issues, but the benefit of using a US PayPal account is that when you're selling in US dollars, you're going to have the lowest amount of fees. If you have a PayPal account in your home country, there's other issues that you could face. You could have issues where you're potentially at risk for income taxes in your home country and you're not reporting it. And you could also face a lot of currency issues, like currency fees, just a ton of fees. When you're selling in US dollars to a foreign currency account, they charge you fees to move the money over to your currency, and then they charge you fees to move the money back to US dollars if you're going to pay your suppliers from those accounts. And then also if you're using a PayPal account from Australia or the UK or somewhere in the EU, it doesn't matter. That PayPal account is going to be registered with your information from that home country, whether or not you're living there. So if you're using a US LLC, I would recommend trying to get a US account. Now, what's an alternative if you can't get a US PayPal account? I have so many clients who are abroad who are using Hong Kong PayPal accounts. Now, I haven't set up many Hong Kong businesses. Actually, I haven't set up any Hong Kong businesses, but I very often have clients coming to me, Americans and international people. Well, mostly Americans use US PayPal accounts, but most of my international clients are using Hong Kong companies for Hong Kong PayPal accounts and US companies for their US bank accounts and payment processors. The reason they use the Hong Kong accounts, and I have it on my screen here that you can see, Startup Registry, this is a company that creates Hong Kong companies. They help you go through the whole process. I've never worked with them. I don't have any affiliation with them at all, but they seem to refer and have a process for opening a PayPal account. I've just seen so many clients open up these Hong Kong PayPal accounts, and they seem to be much lower scrutiny in terms of shutting down accounts. And when you factor in the fees, if you're going to sell 30% more of your product, you can factor in the fees and see if it's still going to be profitable for you to sell in this Hong Kong PayPal account. And it's something definitely to try out. I'd love to hear you guys comment below if you've tried this or if you've done this before to see how your experience has been. But I'm just thinking about my clients. I have a number of 7-8-figure clients who are using US like Shopify accounts, US bank accounts, and then Hong Kong PayPal accounts. And it's been something that's been working really well for them despite the high fees, because they just can't get a US PayPal account because it's so difficult. Now, I'd encourage you, if you're a serious entrepreneur, to try both. There's no harm in trying to open a US PayPal account, get it open or not. And if you can't get it open and you're selling already on Shopify, you're selling online on your e-commerce store, then you should push for a Hong Kong account and see if that'll work for you. Now, the negatives I kind of went over are the cost of getting this set up. Having another company is kind of annoying, and the fees. And people ask me often, why would I want a US company and a Hong Kong company? Maybe the Hong Kong company will work perfect for you. We find it easier and with less compliance to have a lot of US companies. And it's been really helpful for my clients to have, both. The US companies, the US accounts are easier to use. There's less overview. You have to do an audit every year with the Hong Kong companies. Another complication of this could be that you have complications with your sales taxes. So Shopify is tracking your sales and charging sales taxes based on where you're at with in your sales tax journey. If you've had economic nexus in certain states, they're going to charge it for all, or they're going to charge it and assess it for all of your sales. But a lot of that money, if it's going to PayPal, isn't going to be in the US. You're going to be hit on those fees as well. So it's just something to consider. So I wanted to just make this video. I don't have too much structure. I don't have too much going on, but I want to make this video to explain how to open a US PayPal account, and the alternative, which would be a Hong Kong PayPal account, really for my e-commerce entrepreneurs. A big note, something I forgot to say, is that when you're opening a US PayPal account, you have to do it from a US server or from within the US. You can't do it from a VPN. It just won't work. They're very strict about that. And I don't think Hong Kong has the same restrictions when opening PayPal accounts. Obviously, US is a bigger jurisdiction. More people are opening accounts and trying to open accounts. So maybe that's the reason why. If you want to get this set up, we can definitely help. We have addresses. We can get ITINs. We have virtual servers that we use for our applications. In these examples, we can do it from the US. And, we can support you on the whole journey here. Often that still isn't enough, but often it is enough. So we're just doing our best to push through. Please share your experience below about PayPal. I wanted to make this quick video for you guys, and hopefully you find it helpful on setting everything up. Thanks.